Hello,
Hey.
hello,
Hello, Steven.
hello. Happy New Year.
You too. Did we remember to spam on the Blue Skies and the other places that we're going live?
No,
No.
no, absolutely. That is a very good idea. Let me just steal one
Yeah.
of the links
Sure.
here.
I'll do the same.
You know what? You shouldn't have said that, so I just wait and then I just, read. How do you call that now? Because retweeting doesn't make sense in the context of Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Blue Sky sounds
Oh,
not
yeah.
great.
I think they just used the old terminology from back when it was called Twitter and just call it retweeting.
Do they call that like that? Ah, no, reposting they called, or quote post.
Yeah, quote post. Yeah, if you post one, I will quote post. Anyway, while you do that, so it's good to be back. It's
I see what you did there. I totally
Yeah,
see
yeah.
what you did there.
yeah. It sounded like you already had things planned out. So yeah, it's I think there might be a chance that we can get at least a 2 to 3 week of streak going here with our bUnit stream. I will be heading to NDC London the end of January, and then the week after that again I will be going to Svetuk in Stockholm.
Yes.
But when I'm in London, I won't be able to stream, I think, unless I find a quiet corner and can sit there. I might actually be able to do that. And then when I'm going to Svetuk, I am actually traveling home the day before on Thursday, so I should be able to stream then. So, hey, we might actually keep off a decent streak.
Wow. Now
I see somebody tagged me.
Yeah. So now you basically. Now we are like we have to. You sold it. We have to now. That's
Yeah.
fair. Given that I am not at Sweetook or NDC London, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
No pressure to you though. No pressure.
No pressure. Oh yeah. Oh well, yeah. Then I need to polish off my my presentation. Thankfully, I'm giving the same presentations 2 weeks in a row. So yeah, hopefully it'll be.
So NDC is the warm up, and then you go to Sweetook,
Sure. Let's
as
go
it
with
should
that.
be.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely enjoy both conferences. It's been 2 years since I was at NDC London last, so it's going to be good to be back. And yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna do some bUnit stuff today.
Hopefully,
it's been
hopefully.
a month or so, I think, since the last time.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. I guess the last one was short before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Come on, camera. I'm
And-
over here. Here we go.
I am not 100% certain what we did. I think
No.
.NET 9. I
Yeah.
think we did a release, and did we?
I think so, yeah. So I think
Oh yeah.
probably the most significant thing that happened during our time away was that XUnit came out with a new major version, and you have been working on a pull request that adds support for that in our default templates that we have.
Yes.
And there is some things that are different in V3 that may affect us. There's some interfaces that we can include to mark some of our exceptions as various forms of assertion types. So XUnit will apparently do something slightly different with them, I guess. And then XUnit also introduced the test context type in its library, like MS test and
NUnit.
NUnit has as well, and obviously bUnit has too. So the
It's a good word.
naming
Seems like
conflict
it's
that
a
we
very
have,
good word.
Yeah. I did pick it, so I guess it's back in the day. I wish I probably should have. I wish I'd called it a bUnit context, which we will for V2, because bUnit sits on top of XUnit, NUnit, MS test, or whatever. I think there's something
Yes.
called TUnit now as well. And it's a bit annoying that you have that naming conflict, because typically you want to have both the XUnit and bUnit namespace in play at the same time. So there's that. So I don't know. Do you want to just share your screen and show us what you figured out so far? I think it might
Okay.
make sense to start there.
Let me present. Let me press the share screen. And then let's use the right screen. So, oh, look at this here. Should we keep this for the new year? No, we don't, huh?
Yeah.
So, exactly, as you said, XUnit v3 is stable. It was short before our stream, I guess 2 days before Christmas, or it depends
Yeah.
where you are, where you're situated at. Christmas can be flexible, or you don't celebrate Christmas at all. So it was, I guess, 22nd of December, somewhere around this time, where this was stable. And what we did, maybe I can just go to the pull request, is closed, is we have an XUnit v3 template. You might or you may not know our templates, so it's a good thing that we can now show them. You have the option with .NET New, you can just use templates, and we had one for XUnit, NUnit, and MS Test. I took the liberty to remove some of the old versions, as you can see here, so there's no need to support .NET 6 and .NET 7 in the templates at least, because if you start from scratch, probably you shouldn't use them. There are obviously maybe edge cases where you're forced to, that's fine. You still can create one from scratch, but in our templates at least, we just dropped them entirely. Updated some dependencies, and we have a new XUnit v3 template, which does all the scaffolding for you. And as you spoiled already earlier, there's a new test context class in XUnit. It's not meant to inherit it from. It's not like the same as an MS test or NUnit, but obviously it's a class. So if you have colon test context, then you now have to decide between the bUnit test context and the XUnit test context. In the templates, I solved it with the full qualified namespace. So there's just written colon bUnit dot test context. Probably, if you know bUnit and you're not a first-time user, a global alias will do better.
Yeah, both yes and no.
Well, if you call it bUnit context, the gains when you upgrade to V2, whenever we release this, is just immense.
Yeah. It's the never-ending saga with the V2 release of bUnit. It's been going on for 4 years now, but yeah.
It will be TBD soonish, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
do you want to show me the code for what it looks like? Because I wasn't really sure reading your comments how the conflicts surface. So
I can show it here because I'm lazy. Oh god, there's a lot of code. There's a lot of code here. So this one. Thank you. So this is basically our counter C# test. So we have two tests. We have one a C# version and one a Razor version. Even though we basically tell you prefer the Razor version, it's just our stance because a lot of things are easier with that. And it feels more natural. If you write Blazor components, why not writing your tests the same way? Anyhow, and here is the problem if you just write test context, but you're using XUnit v3, then the compiler has a problem because there is a test context in XUnit and in bUnit. And both of the namespaces we expose globally. So the compiler doesn't know what to do. And I took this option. There's just bUnit.test context. We could change this.
I guess it's a bit annoying though. But so we have that bUnit test context, which is part of the MS test and NUnit, right? And it's kind of inconsistent But the reason why, so those are not the same though. So that's the thing.
Exactly.
Like the unit test context from in unit would be it includes some teardown and create or what's it called, setup methods specific to
Yes.
NUnit and MS test that will instantiate a new bUnit test context and make sure to dispose of that after a test run. So I think that's sort of that's why. But now it's a bit it annoys me a bit. But I think that's fine. I think let's keep it like that for now, and then things just work right out of the box.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
XUnit
do we want
v3 is
to-
somewhat stable to XUnit v2.
Sure. Do we want to add a comment above the counter C# test example, or perhaps also the razor example, where we say something along the lines why we are doing this prefixing, because we may or may not want to update our documentation to show that as well.
We
and
could,
just
of
say
course.
just include a comment in the default sort of example file and saying, hey, this is the reason why we do this, because XUnit has its own thing, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, why not? Let's do this. As you can see, it's way. I need more zoom. I hope 150 is this something? That's good, huh? Visible? Yeah. So as you can see, I also started with the other things, mainly the new interfaces of XUnit v3. Maybe, let's stash them for now. We can have a look in a second.
Yep.
About this, what we want to do
one
is
thing at the time.
Exactly. And here we wanted to say, hey, basically we want to tell users that we use the full qualified namespace due to the conflict with XUnit. Is this right? Is this roughly the amount of information you want to see?
Yeah. Something about XUnit and has an test context too, and so on. Give me 1 second.
In this one? Okay. Oh, look at this. The same we probably want to have in our razor file, which is here. That is XUnit v3. Oh god. Where's it? Ah, here.
It's up in the
Yeah.
And now you have to remember how to make.
No, I just have to steal the
Yeah.
have to remember how it was done here.
Yeah.
Just
You can't use //. I think you have to use.
yeah. I copy pasted it.
Yeah. No,
Good
you're
at you.
Maybe
Good.
add a space though, right where your cursor is right now. There you go. Yeah.
Sorry, my
Do you
OCD is
want
otherwise
us?
kicking in.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. No, that's all.
Yeah. So I think that's correct. Do we want to update all the dependencies to the latest versions?
They should be. I did this.
Oh, I mean
so
in the templates.
Yes, I mean this. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So those one, in the meantime, this one was updated. Yes, that's true. These ones, the latest and greatest. They are all latest and greatest.
Yep.
Well, maybe I'm lying. Yeah, in the meantime, obviously, there will be new versions. But when I did the PR, it was the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Oh, is here something new? No. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure. Can I use the XUnit runner 3.0.0 with the old XUnit? To be honest, I have no idea.
Well, you can try it out in our project.
Oh, good catch. Can I? No, I cannot. We
Go to
have
the-
an
go to
old
the-
version We have an old version, do it to .NET Standard, .NET
No,
Core.
not for the runner, I think.
Oh yes, it's only the runner where we have the old version here. There. This is our
Yeah, but
directory.
that's for the legacy. You can the one just 2 lines up. There you go. It's
Ooh. Spicy. Okay. Should I just run all the tests?
sure. Why not?
Run all the tests from solution. That might take a few seconds. All building our source code generators. Source code? Source generators? Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay, that will do its tricks. Yeah, if it is running, I would upgrade also this to 3.0.0. That makes the most sense, I guess.
Yeah.
I would just prepare this in the meantime. Prepare. Here's my camera. Good.
I think it should be. So I think if I follow the reasoning from the XUnit team, I think it's compatible because the ones that are not compatible, they changed the package name to xunit.v3. Right. So it's a different package so that your Visual Studio or other writer or whatever won't tell you, or Dependabot or whatever you're using, that hey, there's a new version, because you might not want to upgrade because it's an entirely, like, it's gonna break you, right? So
yeah, it looks good. It runs tests. I don't think.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think the new version, new runner also supports. Yeah, but it might actually, I don't know if we want to actually upgrade to be free of XUnit also in our main project.
Yes, at some point I would. It's more.
I wonder if it works actually with the older .NET versions we're still supporting.
Oh, that is a very good question. Let me check this. XUnit v3.
It might actually, because it works very much differently from what. Well, we will obviously have the naming conflicts as well.
I mean, it supports .NET. Frameworks and dependency. Oh no, it probably does not.
I think it might work. So, yeah, no, I think it might work. Because also the XUnit has changed. It like right now in the new version of XUnit, it creates a console app that you run, so it doesn't need the runner to actually work in the cloud.
Exactly. So if you have, I basically migrated many of my projects to the new one, and here you would have the output type exe. So you can even have a standalone testing setup. You can even publish this as a standalone application, which is cool. I have absolutely zero use cases for this, but it would work, technically speaking. Anyhow, are you fair that I push this directly to main?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, upgrade description and package versions. So, am I on the latest and greatest? Yeah, I am. Okay, I have your verbal agreement that I can get push this on main. Good.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay. Yes. Maybe one last thought to XUnit v3. I am inclined to say I would not do this on v1 of bUnit, given that we have some more tests in v2, given that it will probably create merge conflicts and all sorts of things. I'm a bit.
There's probably a bunch of merge conflicts waiting for us when we merge v1 into v2 next time.
That is for our future self.
Yeah.
And maybe we forgot until then. Okay, so the other thing, I don't want to think about it. I want to push this into my unconscious brain, and then it pops up in 1 or 2 weeks. I would like that as a surprise. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, the other thing you also mentioned that is there are 2 new exceptions or marker interfaces for exceptions in XUnit v3. This is the I assertion exception and the I test timeout exception. Maybe we can even
Yeah.
show this here, and maybe I even make this a bit bigger because this is absolutely not readable. Here and here. Thank you very much for moving us around. Exactly, in those two, they don't have to be. I like that, by the way. So what XUnit is doing is just checking if some interface with that name is present. It doesn't matter the namespace.
Yep. I think that's
Cool
a very
feature.
cool extensibility model, and I know
Yes.
other tools are doing the same thing where so you don't actually have to take a dependency on a third-party package just to be able to signal to various runtimes that things are happening. So I think if my understanding is correct of the usage of those two is that we basically tag our markup matches exception, right?
Yeah.
We have an assert equals exception, which I actually don't think we necessarily throw, or it's like a base exception we have, I guess. And then we have the wait for, and I think we have a
Yeah, we have some.
timeout
We have-
version of that, right?
No, exactly. So I started doing that.
Yeah.
And this is basically my conclusion 4 days ago,
Yeah.
where I just checked a few things, and basically we have two big exceptions: actual expected assert exception, which is used by, I guess, markup matches. This is exactly the one
perhaps.
you mean. Here, diff assert exceptions tells me it's somehow markup matches because this comes from there. The
Yeah.
extensions. Yeah, you should have signal change and I guess markup matches. We can check which exception is. Yeah, we have actual markup matches. Yeah, this one. You see, this one we could.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. This is exactly this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And here, for
Um,
example, I added this interface.
So I think
So-
that's good, and we have the interface as an internal interface, I guess.
Exactly. So basically what I
Yeah.
did is we have this marker interface here in core. There is the test timeout and the IAssert. I will talk a bit more about this in a minute. It's internal, so the user cannot really do anything with that thing. It's
No.
just for us. It's also the
Yeah.
bUnit internal. We could even remove this here and just call it bUnit internal, but potato,
It's fine,
potato.
yeah, it's fine.
Exactly. And the same thing I did in bUnit web. So these two exceptions would also exist in bUnit web. And the reason for that is we have a wait for failed exception, and the wait for failed exception, no, it's bUnit core. And now the problem is wait for failed, and this is what I wrote here, is used in few parts, mainly in all of the wait for helper methods. And the nature of those methods is a bit different. So we have wait for state, we have wait for assertion. Okay, there's the name already inside, wait for assertion. So it makes absolutely sense to say, hey, this is an I assertion exception.
Yeah.
But we also have things like wait for element, and the wait for element is not necessarily an assertion. I can just say, okay, I want to just.
That's kind of right. I think.
Okay,
For
yeah,
me,
exactly.
For me, there's two. For me, there's two distinctions. Right. There's the wait for, where it times out. Right. And I think then that makes sense to use the timeout marker. And then there's the wait for where it fails. But
So exactly, my problem was
Yeah.
at the end. We, to make this feature really useful, have to dissect that thing a bit. At least the wait for assertion can also be either a timeout or the assertion was false.
yeah.
I'm basically it always bubbles up or it's observable as an exception or as a timeout. It's
Yes.
difficult. It's difficult. So if your assertion is not met, then we retry or we retry. If there's re-rendering happening, then we retry. And if it fails, it will always be it will be always a timeout.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So I was about to ask that because I can't remember, but I'm pretty certain that any wait for, if it fails because it's reached the timeout. It doesn't fail immediately. It will keep waiting until there's whatever timeout's been specified or set by default. So in my mind, that means that we use the timeout version even because, yeah, no, I think that makes more sense. Now I wonder if we should try to create a XUnit free test project and just see what the behavioral differences is with having them interfaces versus not having them, because I think that might lean us in one direction or the other, like in terms of how they are interpreting.
Yeah.
XUnit.
Let me just remove this at bUnit web. Well, before we do this. Yes, that's a very good idea, and I like that, and I want to do this. But I would like to finish whether or not we have to decorate other exceptions with this marker. And in my opinion, if you just check in our own code base which types of exceptions we have, there's not much. So we have parameter exception. That's
not really a test exception. That's just
exactly. That's
hey,
neither assertion nor timeout. Then we have element removed from DOM. No, that's not necessarily assertion. So in the context of what would a user do, it's not an assertion.
No, it's no. I agree. It's
what else do we have? We have label not found exception. That is from Scott's work, and I also would agree that's not really assertion. So you want to have find by label, and this element is just not present. That's not an assertion. It could be, yes, that's the element you retrieve to make an assertion, but it's not the assertion per se.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then we have our two friends, wait for failed exception and actual expected assert exception. These two we did mark right now, so they have the attribution. If I just look down here the road, there's
maybe the diff change assert exception.
Diff change. Here. This is the one which already has the marker.
I see.
So by inheritance. I do not know if this really works. I would assume yes, because inheritance. I mean that's it would be odd if it's not working like that.
Yeah, agreed.
Exactly. And then let's go here to classes. We have a lot of tests here, so they don't count. Basically, we're done. Here bUnit web parameter not found, missing fate or none of them is assertion or timeout related. Render mode mismatch also not. Missing mock, JS runtime unhandled invocation exception. None of them I would say are exceptions we should decorate. And with that, I would like to remove the ones here because I didn't find any suitable exception in bUnit web.
No.
And it's just anyway copy paste. So that said, before we do anything, I want to create a new branch, which I will call XUnit v3 markers. Sue me. At initial marker.
No need to call it initial. Just add XUnit v3 marker interfaces.
Markers. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. With that, let's just, from... Yes?
I didn't say anything.
I thought because you're heavy breathing, and I thought Stephen, what did you do wrong? What did you do wrong? Huh?
I'm only walking 2 kilometers per hour here. I hope I'm not heavy breathing.
Okay, so tests. Is it tests? Oh, I am so.
I don't know.
bUnit live stream tests.
Sure. But I can go full Darth Vader on you if you want to.
Okay, so, but here we want, now it starts again. We want here in our items, the directory build, there is an XUnit. Yes, here, and we want to have XUnit v3.
I think for this test example, you can just place the package versions. No, you can't do it.
That will be, because we use central package management, so that will lead to the amount of work I have to do just to make that. It's too much for me now.
All right.
Is it still package reference or package? Jesus. It is. There, it's still package reference. Okay. And we are good to go. Okay. The next thing I want is I wanna add a reference to our test assets because I'm lazy. Let's go. We are doing it live. And what do you want? Oh. Wow. I'm confused now. It is complaining that XUnit and XUnit has a fact attribute. Yes, that is absolutely true.
Yeah, I think you just need to do a clean.
No, I think because we're using XUnit here, huh? There, using include XUnit. No, that should be fine. Because we're using this here.
Yeah.
So we're using XUnit and XUnit 3. And that is a bit of a problem. Is there...
namespaces conflict. You can make a condition where you exclude it, or we can just have it. You can also just create a new XUnit v3 test project in a different folder and just manually reference.
Yeah, you got me there.
Easier.
Yeah, indeed. So, I wanna. Can I add? Why can I add? Please let me add a new project. Not the testing folder. Not bUnit production tests. Production. So, amazing. I am a genius. Let's go. So, I hope now what's here. Nested comment. Yeah, our root level, obviously. That is fine. Our root level stuff will still be referenced, so that is fine. We want to have almost. Here. We want to have this, and because why not here? So then I want to have the dependency to the test assets, and now what are you complaining? Why is there still a reference? No, that doesn't make sense. You are in a different folder, aren't you? Wait. Yes, it's not in the test folder. Why is it still getting the What?
You might want to just rebuild or clean build it because I ran into the same problem when I was just playing around with that locally, and I think it's just because it
Oh god. I deleted it from web, but this one, And has he using here? Okay, yeah, okay. What is your problem here?
Yeah, shouldn't really be using
I
it.
feel like whatever I did was not good. Whatever. And here the type. Okay, so I just do a rebuild, yeah?
I guess. Yep.
That should clean before. Oh boy. I hope it works. It would be nice. What is your problem? Add test blah 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 blah. Member does not access instance data. Yeah, that is fine. Add at least one assertion to this test case. Why? That it might fail. If I don't add an assertion, it never fails. I guess the analyzer doesn't understand what I'm trying to do here. Can I see? Oh, we can make it easy. What dependencies do you have? Packages, and for some apparent reason you do not have that, but you still complain. It looks better.
Does it complain from the...
No, it says XUnit exists in both XUnit core and...
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand, but none of the, so if I just check my die,
Do you have project references going on? And
yeah,
that's
to
why?
test assets.
Yeah, test assets include XUnit.
No, they don't. They have XUnit abstraction assert, and they probably have XUnit core.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Then not.
We don't need
this.
test
Yeah, we
assets.
don't need this.
No.
Yeah, I thought that make my life so much easier if I do that.
No.
No, okay. Okay. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. I do want though. What do I want?
You can add
I
a
wanna have
reference to bUnit.web.
Yeah, that should be fine. And then I can do tricks like, I don't know, my cool sample component base. What is private sealed class? Then you don't. What is your problem? Remove. It's not. Yeah. That is absolutely fair. Yeah.
Are you in what's it called in release mode?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe. Okay, so I'm debug. I mean, it's no problem. So var cut is render my cool sample component, and now I say wait for assertion. Oh, that's was one of the things we want. Or wait for, what do we have? It doesn't matter. This is an empty component. This will never ever hit. And now I just put the debug here and I say true. No, assert. I don't know. True. Okay. Are you fine with that?
Sure. Yeah.
Let's compile everything again and let's see how different did. I still have a mistake. Can I change this? Ooh. I'm not sure if this is already mandatory.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
Can
so
you
either.
collapse your build output so we get a bit more real estate?
There's an argument that given. What? Yeah, obviously. I was so much on V2 because in my other, like in some of my projects where I use Blazor,
you shouldn't need. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No. The render in version 1 wants to have a render
Yeah.
fragment. So yeah, it indeed wants. Maybe I should also not attach myself with a debugger without setting the timeout, because we internally set it then to, I don't know. What was it?
I think when you have a timeout, when you go in debug mode, I believe it just turns off the timeout.
It doesn't matter what. I thought only if, okay, you are absolutely right, sir. What happens if I just don't do this? You know, what happens? Let's see what happens now. Okay.
Do you need the assert true though? Because wait for element should be marked as an assertion method.
No, I don't need this. It doesn't. I just wanted to have a debug point after. So this is but to be honest, I'm not sure what's different now.
Well, if you look at the maybe if you actually just go and run it in the console, and do we have the marker interface on
Yeah,
the
this should be the wait for. Yes.
It should be that.
Wait for failed exception. This is this one.
Okay.
Okay, good. So let's do this. Is this big enough, or should I make it a bit bigger?
A little bit more. A little bit more. There we go.
Okay. So we want to go to not that blah blah blah.
And I guess you just do .NET test. No, .NET run.
Well,
Or
it should
.NET
work
test
both, huh?
works with, yeah, I guess.
Why?
So it's because it's outside of the folder structure, so you want to actually have the versions specified.
No, 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 no. No. It's not outside of the folder structures. It's complaining that I don't use central package management. And basically what I want is to turn this off for that project. Can I basically just say use? Is this, can I say here false? Can I override
Yeah,
this?
I think so. I think so.
Okay, he doesn't care. Amazing. Project that use central package management should not define. I'm short before putting this in a total different folder outside of bUnit. And you know what? Let's do this. I don't have to delete this. I can just copy paste. New project. For sure something, I don't know, good. It has to be valid, huh? My favorite folder, temp. Let's go.
Yep.
This file does not belong to the project. Okay, whatever you... Well, sure. This. And... this. So. This makes bye-bye. Okay, that looks... The last part is almost like, you know, how's it called? The volcano you have. Almost.
Sure. Yeah.
Naturally, you agree. What is the problem? Why is it?
So going to the project reference is
of course. It's wrong. Yeah, that makes absolutely sense.
Just delete it and add it again, I guess.
Yeah, that looks better. Okay. What's your problem? The type must be convertible to a component. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, temp. So, let's run that thing.
Let's see, drum roll. So what do we get?
That will take you like a few seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This is our message, so
yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay, so I think if you copy paste that into some sort of storage
editor,
safekeeping, yeah, maybe the entire console output.
Where does it start? Is it here? This one as well?
Yeah, try maximizing the screen, perhaps.
Here, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, make sure you're not showing anything private.
That's just my side project. Everyone can see that. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So let's go
now
and
let's
change the. Yeah, exactly. Go and change the bUnit thing. We did. And you may want to rebuild the full thing. I don't think it's going to rebuild.
No, it does.
Oh, it did. Cool. It did.
Okay. And basically what we... here's the clear.
Yeah, no, you're good. There we go.
Did I add this one? It doesn't matter, I will see that. Okay.
Can you do the compare? Diff, yeah.
With... And times are different there.
Yeah, I guess. Can you zoom in a bit as well? Maximize. I'm gonna move us over here instead.
Well, let's say from the count of lines, this one is just me, but there is more. So something changed, but it could just be because, no. Why is this on a new line and this one isn't?
Oh, I think it's because...
I mean, here at least we have already... maybe the whole bill... stack trace... discovering starting. But these look at least the same. Wait, until here we are the same.
Yeah.
And here both are exactly error. This for some apparent reason is, I guess it's because of the console, because I copy pasted it wrong or so. Maybe I should have piped it out into a file instead of doing what I did. It was just stupid. Let me pipe this out into a file. That might be the best solution, huh? Without. Then yes, the times and stuff, but who cares about that? Now I re-add this, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. And obviously he builds more, so.
Yeah, well.
Oh, thank you. Almost helpful. Good. That looks better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, now we can diff that thing. Huh. Yeah, the duration, yes.
Sure.
Well, so technically speaking, there's no difference.
So I'm wondering if no, it's
maybe
directly to
let
the
me
exception.
just get me through
Should we? There we go. So what does it say that they do?
So test results can now include a cause field, which will be generally assertion, timeout, exception. Any test which will fail will show by default the failure cause, blah blah blah. When inspecting the exception that caused the test failure, XUnit will look at the interfaces that if one of the
Exceptions is named, assertion. It will cause to consider the failure caused to be an assertion failure. But it will call, so if it's an itized timeout exception, timeout failure, neither of these interfaces need to be. So, but what does it mean that it considers it a different thing?
I'm still interested, so we still have this. I'm still interested because inspecting sounds for me very much like there's a debugger. And I want to really check for once what it's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm here. I don't care.
So that means if we have a debugger attached, we have a infinite timeout. So we don't time out because.
So.
Yep.
Now let's see what happened. I hope we see something. Did he say inspecting the exception that caused the test failure. But inspecting could mean a lot in this context. Okay. Here we go. Let's press F10 and we have the exception.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how anything should now be different, to be honest. I mean.
No, I don't know if it matters how, like if it shows up differently in the UI, perhaps.
But also, that is a very good question. I have absolutely no idea. Maybe it's no. I'm a bit out out of ideas what it could be. I was like writer, but we also tried it in with
Yeah.
the .NET tests CLI. Maybe we can try with .NET Run. I don't think is there now something else, you know? But the .NET Run does the same, discovering, discovered, and
I'm just right now typing out a question to the xunit.net Blue Sky folks to see if they can shed some light on what like.
So let me maybe do the same here again. Yeah, while you do this, I do the same trick here. That's now with txt. And now I do one version without. Where was it? Timeout. Was it not I timeout exception? Where was it? Here. Test timeout. I always. Okay. And now I save this without txt. He prints. Yeah, okay, that's fair. And that's fair. Is this automatically updated to diff?
Not sure.
So let me do it once.
I just pinged them and asked.
Okay, so also here with .NET Run, there's absolutely no difference. Yes, obviously the execution time. Well, that
doesn't really change either.
We see it's the wait for failed exception. And just for folks watching us, there's only this one here. There's not. We don't have multiple of them. So
no.
I test timeout exception. It could very well be that I have it. No, it's literally if I just use here, then it's not even. So also the casing is correct.
Yeah, should be right.
And let me for the kicks. What happens if I use now the I assertion exception?
Yeah,
I just want to know. Okay, so now we have it in. So let's do it with. I don't have to rerun the without one anyway.
Mm-hmm. Should be the same.
With okay. Yeah, but yeah, okay. This is real time. It updates. It has a file watcher, and also here, just the only difference is the time. So yes, if those folks might shed some light on it, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it's not like we could leave it for the time being. It's not like it makes our code more messy or whatnot. I don't mind, to be honest.
No, I think it's probably fine, and it's internal, so we're not breaking anything, changing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Well, actually, so I guess what we could do is we could create a pull request, and if they come back, we can just link to it and say this is how we're doing it. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Before we merge it in.
Here, this one I have to amend. Git push. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Then this should be here. Let's create that guy. E2 main. Yes, it is PR. It's xunit v3 markup interface. I will gladly add you. Didn't I remove this? No, that's just the right one. Okay. Perfect. Yes. Yeah, if some of our viewers know what's going on, I would be very happy to know what this thing does. Or maybe I'm.
I think let's see what the xunit guys come back. They're quite responsive.
To consider that failure cost to be in time of fair. It's a blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Okay. The test results can now include. How can I make test results? Maybe that's...
Is it maybe
Isn't it-
in the
Isn't that the
logger?
output? Yeah, is there sometimes even an output file? How can I find this? Open exactly. Here temp.
No, no. I
No.
mean, you probably want to pass in
The logger.
additional command, yeah, to the .NET Run
Oh god, and this is
to do a
log.
dash help. No, just do dash help. I think it'll. Oh, maybe go to the XUnit website. It'll probably give us some suggestions.
I mean, this is the migration, huh? Good.
But I don't think that probably doesn't change anything.
We will see in a second. My question is whether or not I removed this, or did I? No, huh? Here, this one. No, I just the type is the. Okay. Can I open this?
I think you can, but it
Is there a type now?
cause reason.
Yeah, you know what? We make it the same way as always. This is now with. I'm not smart. I am
Come on,
I'm smart.
I see what you did, but it's fine. It's like
So, and then I want to remove this one. Please, IDE. And no, don't save this. Don't. I do not know why it takes that long now to build. Ah, okay. Cool. Then I want to open the with TRX and the without TRX. Okay, now let me compare. Almost. You got it almost right. With so let's remove this. Timestamps are different.
which is to be expected.
Execution outcome duration.
Outcome failed.
But here's just some IDs, timestamps, and whatnot. So we are sure this is for sure not what we're looking for. Agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have this one. Oh. Execute also some ID, and another ID.
No.
So the only difference is
could be the outcome field if we change it to if you want to run it one more time with the timeout.
Yeah.
Because that might change then, I guess.
Okay. Are you hyped? You ready?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
I'm hyped as heck. Outcome is still failed, and I thought the whole idea behind this is that wasn't it here? Out. No. Oh, exactly. Wait, let me just do this. I'm so done. Exactly. Test results can now click the cause field. Because do a new failure course enum has been added as a return. What test time did this best guess is based on 2 contracts? Yeah, exactly. But how can I? A new enum has been added, and which section of the documentation? Misc changes. I hoped for something like, okay, there's now an explanation where I can see the failure cause. I mean, that makes sense. Oh, this is also my understanding. So the system derives from those exception types what it is. Interface. Exactly. Yes. Okay. But where do so I expected that failure cause would be here, but as you said, cause is not even in there. There's only one time cause, and that's from our own custom message.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Well, I am curious. I just found a issue from PR rather from Fluent Assertions.
Yeah, exactly. I found the same.
And they are adding I assertion exceptions.
God, I had it a second ago. You mean this one here? You fairly cast this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's support. Yeah. No, actually, I'm just looking at. If you scroll all the way down, there's a link to a PR. Oh, actually, it's fixed by, and then you can go up on the top of the URL as well. Very fixed. It says fixed by. No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's also linked up in closed and so forth. And I was just looking at the file changes they have. Yeah. So they've added the I assertion exception interfaces similar to what you have done.
Yes.
So at least.
Yes.
That's consistent.
Exactly the same. They don't use the I timeout one, but that shouldn't be a big issue.
Sure. Nope. And if you find the assertion failed exception that they changed. You can look at the file navigation thing over on the left side. It's just above. Yeah. And they are inheriting from that now.
Yeah, like we do. So that is consistent.
I think we just, I guess, leave in the changes we have. At least we're doing the same thing that the Fluent Assertion guys are doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they reach out, and then we can have maybe next week we have an answer or something we have to address, and then it's working. Or we are just looking at the total wrong place, but don't know if there's. I mean, it looks like here it should be somewhere a cause. I mean, cause field sounds like either in the XML or somewhere there should be something that I can. .NET XUnit v3trx cause field or so. A unit test doc gets music request test. I don't think there's much of help here.
No. I think there might be that you can use xunit.net.
And just to be sure, I also use the runner in version 3. So it's really latest and greatest. I just wanted to rule this out. Not that I'm using XUnit v3, but the runner might be old. I don't know. And I guess the TRX, does the TRX has some more? No. It's not even listed here. That's a bit unfortunate.
What if you type .NET Run instead of... Oh, you tried that.
I use .NET Run, yes.
Yeah.
I could also use .NET Test. .NET Test doesn't have TRX. Because it's a...
Yeah.
pretty certain that I didn't do anything if I delete everything
No.
here.
No, I think so. At least we're doing the right thing. We might not be running the test project correctly, but I think it's fine to leave it in.
Yeah.
I also saw that Brad Wilson, who's the lead dev of XUnit, were in the issue over at Fluid Assertion and talking to those guys about. So I think it's not.
It's not us.
Oh, hang on.
Okay. Do I have it? Yes, test time with exception. Yeah. So it be. I do not know. Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's back
Yeah.
from the basement.
Just
Looks like he came from the basement.
something got stuck in my walking pad, and it was making a sound. I dropped something, so I
Okay,
have to go and fix it up.
let's leave it as it is. Wait. Oh, for a short second I thought I committed my weird project. Oh boy. No, I did not. Amazing. What did I hear? What did I hear? Okay. Exactly, those two, and then we have here this guy, I test time out exception, the wait for failed, and here then I assertion exception for expected assertion exception. Good. And then, well, we will see where this, will lead us to. Cool. I guess we could call XUnit a day. Or is there more for XUnit?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. Then, I don't know. We have a few more minutes left, I think.
Yeah, maybe it's a good time to break here, and I think next week I think it would be good if we could. I think we had that whole navigation will set parameters thing. I think we are ready to close that down.
Yes,
if
so
we
I
get a
can
bit of
remember
time
a few
to.
things, and I have to thank my former self that I was wise enough to write down everything after our stream, because I can remember. So for folks, for folks,
right way to do it.
The closing 5 minutes. Just what do we want to do next week? We have this, let's call it issue, that if you have a page like this. Or better like this, and you set, for example, here the application name in a real world Blazor application. This will be set, but with bUnit, currently it doesn't. Only with tricks. So there is a workaround. That's why we didn't pressure us too much to fix it right on the spot, because there are known workarounds somewhere written down here, I guess even from you. So it's not super urgent, but it's an important thing to address. And I went ahead and basically filed a PR. There are some nits and bits we discussed should be changed. Or we had some even like bigger discrepancy. How should we tackle the issue? And I wrote my stuffs down. But let's before we go into detail, let's call it a stream and let's tackle this next week. I would like that.
Yeah, it's a slow start. It's not a 3-hour stream this first stream of the year, but we will be back with a vengeance, or just back, I guess, next Friday. Hopefully everything sorts itself out, and yeah. Well, excellent, Stephen. Chatting with you as always.
It was nice.
And
good start
I
to
think
the year.
At least we learned that we don't know what's going on with XUnit yet, but we know something's new is going on. So, and
always exciting.
Yeah,
I like that.
And I guess we have a release pending. Or do you want to roll the release of the new template package after we've done with the stream, so that we have that out in the world?
Idea. Or I would wait maybe if the guys from XUnit reach out to us, and we do know that we did everything right. Yes, I would press the button.
Yeah. All right.
And then maybe we can discuss next week what we have to do to make that work. Anyhow, thank you very much for your time. dear viewers, also thank you for joining in, and see you in a week.
Yeah. Bye bye. Thanks for coding with us.
Bye.